dwarfed by it, as you can see.
But how tall is that? 10, 12 feet? No?
Yeah, but it's, well, the ceilings are 12 feet high. And that has to be around 10, maybe over 10 feet.
And what's happening here? You're fine tuning, but what are you looking for?
Well, intensity and repetition of intensity of static electricity.
And so based upon what you're observing with the light bulb, do you then make some adjustments to the equipment?
Absolutely, yeah, that's what I do.
So you're looking for more zaps, less zaps, more intense? What are you looking for?
Well, I'm tuning it towards optimum output.
How do you know that it has an optimum output?
Right next to the fluorescent tube.
So when the fluorescent tube is really bright, you know that you've got a really good output.
That's correct. Actually, we use that in RF testing antennas as well. The fluorescent tube.
And this back here, what's this?
That is a giant horizontal Tesla coil.
So that's the primary on a Tesla coil.
Yeah, pancake type.
All right, so now we're going down the big Van de Graaff, and the left of it is part of that transformer, is that right?
On the left there, yes.
This is a transformer you designed.
Exactly.
So let's explain this part of the Van de Graaff. This is underneath the big ball.
And all adds into an RF output and energy and accumulates static.
On the top is a thicker ring. What does that thicker ring do?
That's for lower frequencies.
And then you have a series of bands that run down the pipe. And what do those bands do?
Oh, those bands enhances frequency.
And you have a toroid coil around. That's, and the purpose of the toroid coil is to
shape the energy output.
And what are you trying to shape it into?
Well, what I see in my head. A workable energy field.
A workable energy field, something that has form to it.
Yeah.
And it's like a three-dimensional kind of a...
Yes, three-dimensional kind of electromagnetic waves.
This right here?
Well, that's a gigantic insulator of 100,000 volt 3 kVA transformer.
Why is it crooked? Why isn't it straight up in the air?
Because they do that so substations can send out the lines properly and keep the bottom part away from the casing.
Okay.
So it doesn't spark.
And the ball on top of that, was that something you added or was that with it?
Oh no, that's something I added. It was a Corona suppressor ball. You don't get sparks out.
Okay.
Blasting into the air.
Basically, you're trying to control all of this voltage in it so it doesn't go zapping all over the place, and it does what you want it to do.
Yes. That's the bottom part of the Van de Graaff generator.
That's the bottom part. And there's a outside ring, and then it looks like an upside down pot.
Yeah, that's where the separation of charges happen. It's got boosters and insulators and all kinds of cool stuff.
So you separate the charges and you pick out which one you want to use?
Well, no, then you just separate them into negative or positive electrostatic units.
Okay. It's kind of like a big recipe, isn't it?
Yeah, that's well put.
Okay, and this, what is this here?
That is a high-powered X-ray transformer. 400,000 volts.
So there's 400,000 volts. Is that feeding the Van de Graaff?
No, that's a separate system.
It's a separate system. Now we're at the transformer.
The big transformer. 2 tons of it.
And this piece of the transformer is?
That's the other insulator, the other part.
And it also has a Corona suppressor on top that you added?
That's correct, yes.
This is part of the original right here, or is this?
No, that would be the original.
That's the original. And then you added the top ball as a corona suppressor.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going in on some other pieces that are in the back there, and there'll be more on that. But what are these guys here?
Oh, well, one is the original spiral spark gap. Original spiral spark gap I built, along with RF chokes and connecting high voltage balls and coils.
Now this is the big guy, isn't it? This is the transformer?
Oh, that's Tesla coil, my own design. That I actually copied part of it from the plans, and it's 2 feet in diameter, 10 feet high or more. Puts out 10 million volts.
10 million volts. And was this that you started with the plans from Tesla's plans? Or what plans did you start with and then you adapted?
Would be Tesla's plans.
And why does it have that little tiny ball on top?
To guide the high voltage out.
Guide it out into a very small ball.
Mm-hmm. Low Q, low capacitance, but has a purpose.
Okay, we're back onto the transformer.
Yeah, big fella, 2 tons, 3 kVA, meaning kilovolt amperes. Same duty as the Westinghouse transformer, Colorado Springs Lab 1900.
That's what Tesla had.
Not like this, but he had the same ratings.
We go back in and look at the chokes again.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like this might be a little bit of a repeat from... So we're kind of going through the same thing again, and we're back to the big Tesla coil that you made.
And he zooms in. In this building in downtown Vancouver, the old Murchie's Tea building, 5-story high.
Were you in the first floor?
Yeah, basement.
Or in the basement? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now we're swinging around to a bunch of gauges.
Very interesting gauges, all very vintage, along with naval gauges, and also adapted to reading frequencies, heat, amperes, phase shifters, and other frequencies. I like building the best.
So were those all military?
Navy. All Navy stuff.
Now we've got this, looks like a globe with 2 circles put together. What is that?
That's what they call it. They use them on Navy ships. And they're what they call direction finding antennas. This is a 200 amp variac.
And so this was used to vary the amount of power that was being sent in?
Yes. I use it along with the 100,000 volt transformer. These are more power meters. Turn of the century type.
And were those hooked up to the variac or to something else?
They'd be hooked up to variacs, supplying voltage to all the transformers.
So this is how you're able to gauge the amount of power that was being fed.
Yes.
We've got amperes and all kinds of... Looks almost like a chart on the bottom here on the left one.
No, that's a different type of movement of a meter, power meter. Come out of a substation.
So we've got an overview here of the gauges, lots of gauges. I'm going to swing around here and look at this piece that has a couple of orange dials on it. What is this, John?
Okay, those are the matching direction finding radio receivers to those 2 antennas, loop antennas. This is a stack of variacs where I can control the voltage to transformers. Pilot light. And it gives the direction of the radio waves.
So you were able with the radar to pick up where the waves were actually happening.
Not really radar, but VLF, very low frequency. So
We've got more gauges.
More gauges. Some are temperature gauges measuring the temperature of the transformer oil.
Guess that wouldn't be good if it got too hot.
No, or too low of oil. It will explode.
Well, now we're panning around here to a bunch of metal boxes with dials on them. Explain what those are, John.
Well, most of those are RF generators, test equipment, radio receivers,
Vacuum tube.
vacuum tubes, an old sonograph on the table there, along with that big